Good morning and welcome to Unit 11, Day 1. So we are starting a new unit today and we're going to find out what happens in this unit when Sammy Snake slithers up behind words. But until we do that, I want to actually go over some of the things that we remember from our last unit. So in our last unit, we met some friends that don't like to be by themselves when they're at the ends of words. Do you guys remember these guys? We had Firefighter Fred, he doesn't like to be by himself. Lucy Lamplight, she doesn't like to be by herself. And Sammy Snake, he doesn't like to be by himself either. So if we look at these, we call these three the best friends at the end. And we called them that because at the end of words, they call on a best friend to be at the end of the word with them. So remember, Firefighter Fred calls on his best friend, Firefighter Frank, to be at the end of words with him. And when he does that, we just hear Firefighter Fred. We don't hear Firefighter Frank. So they just make the f sound, right? The same is going to be true for Lucy Lamplight. And she gets her friend Linda Lamplight to be in the word with her. But again, Linda doesn't say anything. It's just Lucy. So you're just going to hear ooh, right, Lucy and Linda together. And our last set of friends are Sammy and Sally. All right, so he gets his sister Sally to be in it with him. But again, you don't hear Sally, you just hear Sammy, so you just hear S. Okay, so let's just quickly go over these guys one more time, and then we're going to find out what happens when Sammy comes into words. So Firefighter Fred and Firefighter Frank say f together. Good. Best friends Lucy and Linda say ooh together. Good. And best friends Sammy and Sally say s together. Good job. Okay. So I'm going to build a word up here. I want you to look at the word that I am building. And you might know this word, but I don't want you to shout it out or say anything quite yet, all right? But I want you to think about this word, okay? You remember who that is? That's Annie Apple, and she says ah in words good. Let's get our tapping fingers up, and we're going to tap out this word together. Here we go. What word? Nap. Nice job. All right. So you remember Sammy Snake too, okay? I want you, if you have a learning partner next to you, turn and tell them something you remember about Sammy Snake, okay? If not, tell yourself something you remember about Sammy Snake. Right, you might have learned it from last year in kindergarten. You might remember that Sammy Snake is really sunny and sociable and he likes to slither over to his friends and socialize. So let's find out what happens when Sammy slithers over to his friends in a word. Now to do this, we're going to need to roller coaster our sounds. When we do it, you're going to roller coaster, making Sammy sound. So get your roller coasters up and put Sammy's going to be your shoulder sound. So, right. And when we get down here, we're going to say our word. And our word is nap. Right. You know, like I like to take a nap sometimes when I'm tired after lunch. All right. So I'm going to make Sammy slither. And when I make him slither, I want you to be making his sound, okay? But then when he slides up to the word, I want you to then say the whole word, okay? So it's going to be s, and then here you're going to go nap. Right. All right. Here we go. Nap. What's that whole word? Snap. Good. So let's do it together. Let's all roller coaster it one more time. Snap. Snap. Nice job. Okay, when we have two consonants like this that kind of come together and you can hear them together, it's called a blend. So Sammy is blending into that next consonant sound, Noisy Nick. All right, let's find out what happens when Sammy blends into another word. But before we do that, I'm going to write the word that we just built over here on our board. And if you have a piece of paper or a whiteboard at home, I want you to do the same thing. I want you to write snap, the word that we wrote. And snap can be a snap. It's a sound that you make with your finger. Or if it's cold outside and we have a jacket, we might snap it together to keep it shut and keep us warm. All right, and now we're going to write a new word up here. Okay, so let's tap out the word that we have up here. Lip. Lip. Good, like this is my bottom lip. All right, so now let's roller coaster Sammy slithering up to our word. You guys remember, you make your sound until you get about here. And when I land on lip, you're going to say the whole word. Okay, here we go. Slip. What word? Slip. Right, actually yesterday I was walking on my deck and it was really rainy and I slipped and I fell and I hit my hand. So you got to be careful when it's rainy outside and wet. All right, let's roller coaster that word. Slip. Slip. Nice job. All right. I want you to write slip on your paper or on your whiteboard. Good job. Okay, let's build another word. All right, let's tap and fingers up. Let's tap out the word we've got right here. Top. Top. Right, so the top of something. Like this is the top of my head. Okay, so on the top of a mountain would be the highest point. All right, so top. Let's go ahead and roller coaster the word that we'll build when Sammy blends in with the first consonant in the word top. Top. What word? Stop. Good. So get your roller coaster's arms out again. And opposite this time I'm going to do it with you. So here we go. Stop. Stop. Good. All right. So if we stop something, we end it. We finish it. So I'm going to put the word stop on my list. And I want you to put the word stop on your list too. All right, and while you do that, I'm going to build a whole word that we're going to do together. All right. I want you to look at this word. All right, let's tap out every sound in the word, and then we're going to blend it together. Ip. Okay? So now let's do it again. Ip. What word? Skip. Good. So skip can mean either to skip across the room, or it could mean if I say I skipped brushing my teeth last night, that means I didn't do it. Okay, I do it most days, but I didn't do it that one day. Okay, I skipped over it and did it the next day, which is not something I would recommend because it wouldn't be very healthy. So before we build our next word, let's write skip on our list of words. Okay. All right. Now I want to change my word a little bit. So I'm going to take out Peter Puppy and I'm going to replace him with Noisy Nick. Okay? Think about the sound that Noisy Nick makes. So I just changed the last sound in my word. So if our last word was skip, now that new sound is mm. Let's see if we can tap it out. In. Skin. Good. So skin, like this is my skin that I'll have to be careful to put sunscreen on so I don't burn. All right, skin. Okay, good job. So I just changed the last sound in my word, or the last phoneme. I went from skip to skin. Everything else stayed the same. All right, I want you to write skin right underneath here. Okay. All right, let's do one more word. All right, now in this one, I'm going to change one sound too, but I'm going to change my blend. I'm going to change it to a blend we haven't done yet. But I bet you guys can figure it out. So the last word was sk. We hadn't done this one either. Skin, new or S blend. Now we're going to do p. So let's tap it out. In, what word does this build? Spin. So we went from skin to spin. We changed that second letter in that blend. Good job. So if I spin, it means I go round and round in circles like I am spinning right now. All right, let's write the word spin on our list. And that's going to be the last word. Actually, I'm going to write it up here. The last word on our list. Okay, so let's look at our list of words that we built. We're going to read them together, and then what I'm going to ask you to do is to box all of the S blends that you see. So here we go. Let's read our words. Snap, snap, slip, slip. So we're going to sound them out. We're going to kind of drag them across, almost like we're reading like a tractor. All right, so stop, stop, skip, skip, skin, skin. Oops, and I wrote the wrong word that time. This is supposed to be spin. So here we go. Spin, spin. All right, let's try to read them one more time, but this time we're going to read them a little quicker. We're not going to sound them out. Snap, slip, stop, skip, skin, spin. Nice job. All right, so the next thing I want you to do, and do this with a colored pencil or a marker or a crayon, I want you to make a nice big box around every S blend that you find, okay? And I'm going to give you just a second, and then you can check your work when I do mine. So just like in snap, we have the S in snap. What did you box in slip? The first two letters, right? S-L, slip. What about in stop? What are we going to blend? The first two letters again, right? There's our S blend, S-T. Where's our S blend in skip? S-K, good job. What about in skin? S-K, good job. And what about in spin? Good. There we go. That is our lesson for today. All right, so you in your independent work are going, or with either on your own or with a learning partner, you're going to read your word list. So you've got your student word list for this week, and you've also got some review sentences that you're going to get to practice. So in that word list, you're going to see a whole lot of S blends. So look for them, and then in your review sentences, you're probably going to see a lot more best friends at the end. All right. Have a great afternoon, and I will see you tomorrow.